Here I have the third water from my last mash. This is the current temperature. It's the ideal temperature now for mashing in. We mash in between 68 and 70 degrees, which gives us a strike temperature between 63.5 and 64.5. The water from the sparge tank is getting pumped in, as you can see it coming in here. We fill the sparge up to cover the plates. This ensures that they're in the grist and the water mix hits the plates, it doesn't clog them up. I've now switched the grist spin augers on, so in a minute we will see the grist coming through, mixing with the water, the sparge. So here we have the grist coming down here, the sparge coming up here. We mix, and there's an auger beater in here which mixes the two together to produce a fine mix of sparge and grist. So we're 10 minutes in now from the mash started. As you can see, the temperature here is 69.2 from the sparge tank, and that's the strike temperature, 63.9, so it's in our parameters. That's us mashed in now. We mashed in 1.2 tonne of grist to 4,600 litres of sparge. We will now put the rake on for 2 revolutions and let this sit for 25 minutes. We then open the underback to let the worts equalise, and then it gets pumped to the ton room at 20 degrees. We're now pumping our worts back to our washback here. It's getting pumped back at 20 degrees. We will be now adding the yeast, which is a pressed form from Maori. We do use experiment with other yeasts, dry yeasts, but this is the one we're currently using at the moment. Do you want me to pour it in? Hold on to the bag. Once this first water has been pumped back, we'll then be putting on a second water. Neil will be doing it later on when he comes in his shift. It'll be 80 degrees, he'll put the second water on, cooled again to 20, and the third water will be 85 degrees, but then it'll be pumped back into the sparge tank.
So I've just come on shift, taken over from Robin. He's got the first water back from the mash. He's worked out the second water, so we're going to put 1,750 litres into the second water. Got Derek in this week getting trained up to be in the still house, so he's going to start putting the second water in now. So once the second water's in, we'll let it sit for 10 minutes before we start the rake. Then we'll start draining it slowly. Once it's drained, we'll start the pump, take it back to the washback, and that will take it up to the level we're looking for to start fermentation. So that's the second water just finished. Everything we need from this mash is in the washback. So I'm just going to take a sample to get the gravity. So we'll take the gravity now after the mash is finished. We'll record it and then we'll take it again when the mash is ready and fermented. And we're taking it to the wash still. We'll record it again. So this one got 59.4. It's a good mash, not bad if I say so myself. So as you've seen, second water's back, took the gravity, so that'll be left fermenting. But we put a third water on, which will run through the drafts, sit in for 10 minutes, and that will be used again as our first water for our next mash. Derek again is going to start pumping the furred water in here. It sprinkles on and gets any sugar that's left in the mash. It'll go into the next mash. So that's our furred water back in the sparge tank, ready to be used for our next mash. I'm now going to put the rake on and start emptying the mash tun of draff. So this is what's left over after a mash. There's no alcohol in it. If any, it's a very, very, very small amount. So I've put the rake on, I've opened the screw, draff will start coming out into the trailer soon, and that will go to the cows to feed them.